a sexy back. Yeah. Them other boys don't know how to act. Yeah. I think it's special what's behind your back. Yeah. So turn around and I'll pick up the slack. Yeah.
And now, it's Happy Hour with Dana Pepper.
Well, I'm always afraid that I'm going to come on the air and be saying in the middle of a sentence that's completely inappropriate for radio. Welcome to Happy Hour. I am your host, Dana Pepper. And welcome to a brand new month and a brand new time slot. I'm so excited because this show used to be at 3 o'clock and now we're here at 5. So if you're stuck in your car and listening right now, welcome to Happy Hour. If this is your first time tuning in, then a very special welcome to you. And you're in for a treat because during the entire month of November, we're going to be giving thanks. Now, one of the things I'm not so thankful for, though, is the fact that I came into the station today and my regular engineer wasn't here. It freaked me out.
I'd be freaked.
I am freaked, or I was, but Bill is very competent. Hi, Bill.
Hey, how you doing, Dana Pepper?
I am fantastic. Bill, are you doing anything special for Thanksgiving?
Gonna have some turkey and try to save some money.
We said special.
Really, who's not going to do that? Turkey is a staple, although in my house, venison for Thanksgiving is a staple.
I do tofurkey.
Right, yeah, I'm not talking to you. So I am excited to be giving thanks today to some unsung heroes. And to some people who wouldn't ordinarily expect to get any public thanks or recognition or appreciation. Today, I want to say thanks to some local charity organizations that you've probably never heard of, but in my opinion, I think you should be aware of because they are doing some amazing work for people in our communities. Now, the big charities you always hear about, they're always getting recognized. They're always receiving attention. They're, throwing the big galas and doing the big deals. Excuse me. And that's great. But what about those organizations that are in our own backyard and they're probably helping people that we know personally? I mean, I think they deserve some attention. So my first big thank you is to my in-studio guest today. She is a business development manager for Accounting Principles, as well as a member of the board of directors for Synapse House. Yes. And so welcome, Miss Angie Bernard.
Oh, thank you.
See, Bill got the applause going. I love it.
Thank you, Dana, so much for having me on the show. I'm very excited.
Well, I'm excited for you to be here. Not only is Angie, a serial business development person, and she is just a networker by nature, and that's how she and I met, actually. But she has dedicated so much time and just personal space to this organization that when I thought of doing a show that's thankful for charities, Angie, you were the first person I thought of because I'm like, if anybody in any organization deserves attention, it's you and it's Synapse House. So for the listeners who are not aware of what Synapse House is, tell us.
Well, Synapse House is a new organization here in Tampa. We are a national organization. Our headquarters is here in Tampa. Our second big location is in Chicago.
Okay.
And what we do is we help people with brain injury get reacclimated into society, into their social settings by giving them the services they need. Because
let me back up for a second. So when you say people with brain injury, I mean, describe the range because that could be anything from having a stroke to, someone who is a veteran and with post-traumatic stress disorder.
Absolutely. When you think of traumatic brain injury, a lot of people think the very extreme.
Right.
Which is not the case. It could be a concussion by an athlete. It could be a slip and fall, a car accident, a stroke.
What about anxiety disorder? No. Do I qualify? Can I get some help? No.
That's definitely a disorder, but not traumatic brain injury. But you could definitely get some help.
Okay, thank you. Now, what is it that Synapse House does what is it that you guys do for people in need?
We actually have a location where people can be members. And after they're in
The clubhouse.
Yes.
Yes, I read about that on
Yes.
your website. Synapse House has a clubhouse.
Yes, so they can become members. So depending on what need they have, would depend on what service they get. So it could be something where they're actually functioning and making lunches, all the way to us helping them read again, helping them, again, just try to get jobs, anything you could imagine, because the range is so large.
Right.
It's one of those things that it doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care if you're a girl, a guy. It doesn't care how old you are, what your ethnicity is.
Right.
It does not care.
Right.
It happens. And when your insurance runs out, what do you do?
What do you do?
What do you do?
So then how is Synapse House funded, and how is it that you're able to help those in need?
The funding can come in many different ways. It can come from the community.
Okay.
It can come from personal sponsors, companies. Some insurance companies will pay a portion. Family members are very big of paying and helping. And again, the payment can range.
Okay.
I mean, it could be something that's as small as $5 a day. And they don't come every day typically. They come maybe twice a week, 3 times, 4 times a week.
Right.
And they could be doing things like stuffing letters, making lunches, sending out emails. Again, it's a range of things that get them reacclimated into society.
Now, once they're reacclimated into society, does their membership to the clubhouse end? I mean, like, how does the clubhouse come into play? And when is someone in and when is someone out?
Typically, once they're in, they don't go out. Because
Okay, that's
traumatic
good.
brain injury typically doesn't have a cure. So they can get better and they can get higher functioning and need less services. But a lot of times they're not just going to leave the clubhouse unless they move.
Right.
If they don't need the services, they might just come back to have that social interaction, do events, get out in public.
Right.
Things like that. So they typically wouldn't just leave. They might just volunteer at that point.
Okay, so then let's talk about this clubhouse, because it's not just the recipients of Synapse House support that are at the clubhouse, but it's also volunteers and people like yourself who are just giving selflessly. So how did the clubhouse, how did that start, and what is it? Let's start there.
Right. The clubhouse is somewhere where people with traumatic brain injury can go and get services. There's not a lot of volunteers in the clubhouse because the members are actually functioning and doing all the daily routine of the clubhouse.
Do they live there?
No.
Okay,
They
so
just get services.
so they show up and they get services like reading help or chores or, you know, things to get them used to being a functioning member of society.
We've got licensed therapists there.
Thank you. That's what I'm getting to. I'm like, are there just a bunch of people running around your clubhouse with traumatic brain injury? Because that could get dangerous.
Yes, absolutely. But, you know, most of the therapists and the members are going to be the ones there.
Right.
In Chicago, we're getting ready to open our location inside a hospital.
Oh, nice.
So there's a lot of things that we can do. This one is actually in a church. They have donated their space to us because
Which church? Tell us where the location is.
The location is right here in Tampa. It is right off in the Temple Terrace area.
Okay, so North Tampa.
Yeah, and
okay,
you can
great.
find the exact location and map right on our website,
Awesome. And your website is what?
synapsehouse.org.
And Synapse is SYNAPSE. Not to insult anybody's intelligence, but you never know. So, Angie, tell me, how did you get involved with Synapse House? I mean, what was the catalyst to make you say, you know what? This is where I'm going to donate my time and energy.
It's a very lackluster story.
Oh, but no, I want. Okay, I've already asked the question, so you got to tell
Exactly.
me. I mean, my goodness.
So I was out networking, and
Okay.
Deborah, who's over Synapse House,
Right.
her and I met networking. She had just moved to the area, and she said, "I'm trying to meet people in Tampa." I said, "I know everybody in this town."
You really do. You're like the networking queen.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, and who I don't know, Dana knows.
Right.
So I'll introduce you around.
Right.
One thing led to another. We became friends. I started doing research on traumatic brain injury. It is so under-researched. There's
Wow.
not services out there. It is heart-wrenching to know that this is such an epidemic that people don't know about. Everybody knows about breast cancer, which is another great cause.
Absolutely. I did a show about that last month. Right.
But this affects 1.7 new people every year.
Wait, 1.7 million new people.
New
Yeah, because
people every year.
1.7, that's not really an impressive number, but 1.7 million?
Yes.
Yeah, that has an impact on society.
It
Absolutely.
does. In their families. And that's just documented.
Right.
Think about the people who have no idea what's athletes, for example, that big lawsuit that just went through.
Right.
They have no idea what's going on, what's
wow.
wrong. And the only time we can find out what's going wrong is when they die, because we can dissect their brain.
Ooh,
Exactly.
Oh my. All right. Well,
Not to make it go south.
no,
seriously.
but seriously though, I mean, we're hearing a lot more in the news. I mean, I get my news from like the Daily Show with Jon Stewart and Facebook. So I'm hearing a lot more in the news about athletes that are coming forward with traumatic brain injury and how the league is trying to still keep that a secret. But I'm sorry, if you get hit by a 300-pound anything coming at you with any momentum, it's going to affect you if that happens a lot. So I can only imagine, all of the other people that are out there that have no resources, have no diagnosis of the issue, let alone getting the help they need to become, again, a functioning member of society.
Think of all the veterans that come back.
Exactly.
That is a huge population.
And post-traumatic stress, that is a brain injury, correct?
A lot of it can happen because they're hit,
right,
and they get some sort of impact, and they just think that they're okay, and they think maybe it is post-traumatic. That's more of a psychological disorder.
Okay.
But they're hit.
I'm getting an education.
And they're blaming it on that, when that's not really the case. They could have, like, hemorrhages and different things going on in there that everybody is misdiagnosing, so they become depressed.
Oh, no.
And their suicide rates go up.
See, and
the VA is not going to help them a lot of times. They only have so many monies, and the VA is stretched so thin.
And you know what? The reason that makes me so sad, and I'm so happy to support a cause like Synapse House, is because these veterans, these are the people that fight for the very freedom that we live under and enjoy, and they can't get the simple help that they need in order to maintain a decent lifestyle. That to me is tragic. So I applaud you. I applaud the work that Synapse House is doing. As a matter of fact, I applaud it so much that I allowed Angie to talk me into appearing at a fundraiser.
Yes.
This Saturday night. And so, yes, I will be there. It's the Chive event. Tell us about that.
The Chive event. Now, this is a cool group. I mean, this is a social group. Their website is a trip. It's just a social group, but they give, again, to a ton of charities.
Right.
And the charity that they have chosen is Synapse House.
Right.
But it's done through McDitton's, that group, McDitton's Yard of Ale.
Oh, my goodness. So this event is going to be at McDitton's on Howard in South Tampa this Saturday, the 9th. What time does it start?
It starts at 7. The doors open at 6.
Okay.
We've got tickets. I'm selling tickets tonight at McDitton's during karaoke.
So if you happen to be out, then go ahead and hit Angie up for some tickets.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a fun event. I'm going to be there showing my support, showing my love. But
there's going to be 1,500 people there. They're blocking off the parking lot. This is the event to be at, no matter what.
If you happen to be in South Tampa Saturday night and you wonder what all of the unusual craziness is, it's because of Synapse House and this Chive event.
Absolutely.
All right. So if you've got a favorite charity or one that you want to mention, today is all about recognizing those unsung heroes. So give us a call at 727-441-3000. Or if you're out of the area, still feel free to call in at 866-826-1340. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, we've got a couple other charities that I want to definitely mention. So don't go anywhere. This is Happy Hour. I'm Dana Pepper. Everybody loves a good happy hour conversation, especially when they get a little strange. So I'm looking for the most bizarre or scintillating happy hour conversation you've ever had or overheard. Submit your story and you could win lunch for two at the Center Club. Then listen to Happy Hour with Dana Pepper every Thursday afternoon at 5 to hear the winning story. Go to facebook.com/Happy Hour with Dana Pepper to share your story And don't forget to like the fan page. Cheers. Got a message or new product you'd like to get out to NASCAR fans? Well, here's your chance. Baldwin Racing is currently seeking marketing partners for the NASCAR Whelen Southern Modified Tour. This 2-day event during Budweiser Speed Weeks at Daytona International Speedway will have live television coverage of the race and enthusiastic fans tuning in nationwide. For more information, call Baldwin Racing at 813-841-7251 or visit DaltonBaldwin.com. Everybody knows somebody that could use a little therapy. Maybe that person is you. On the next Happy Hour with Dana Pepper, I'm sitting down with a preeminent psychotherapist and asking some crazy questions and getting some much needed advice on staying happy, healthy, and sexy. In the meantime, let us all be thankful for therapists and the sanity they maintain in our world. Happy Hour with Dana Pepper every Thursday afternoon at 5 on the Tan Talk Radio Network. All right, welcome back to Happy Hour. See, I don't have my regular engineer. That completely threw me off because that's not the music I come back to, but that's okay. Bill, you're doing a great job. If you could line up
Bill
my
rock
next...
it.
Right, Bill is rocking it. If you could line up my next guest, that'd be awesome. But in the meantime, okay, so Angie and I were talking during the break. Honestly, we were talking about, oh my God, what's going to happen if the next guest isn't on the line? But,
Yeah.
but I've got things to talk about. So... one of those things is the reasons that we typically as human beings give to charities and reasons why we should. And there are the typical reasons that we all know about, like, it's tax deductible. But what I found interesting is that not only is the money tax deductible, but so are the amounts you spend on travel, parking costs, even convention or event fees that are related to the nonprofit group. All of those things are tax deductible, not just the donation.
You know what? Even if you go to a dinner and you mention your nonprofit, it's tax deductible.
Look at that. All of a sudden, now you're talking business, right?
Exactly. You go to a business meeting, not only you write it off to your company, you can write it off to your nonprofit.
There you go. I love it.
Which isn't the most cool thing to do, but whatever.
But listen, we're business development gals. This is how we play the game. You
Yeah,
got to bend
we're
the
definitely
rules, not
playing a
break
game.
them. Right, exactly. All right. So giving to the charity may improve your sense of well-being. So it can give you a sense of purpose in life or work or inner satisfaction. That right there is the reason I'm doing this show today, is because this is my way of saying thank you. This is my way of giving back, because not everybody can contribute financially. Not everybody can contribute time. Not everybody can contribute whatever the main thing going is. But the idea is, and the message is, to give what you can and give when you can.
One of the easiest things that you can do is like something on Facebook or
yes.
link in with it. Something as simple as that gives more exposure. Say, I don't have time, I don't have money, whatever excuse you've got, whatever. Right. Like it on Facebook.
Exactly. Do something small. It goes a big way. What's up, Bill?
Alex Harris.
Alex Harris is on the line. Hi, Alex.
Hello, Dana. How are you?
I am fantastic. So, Alex Harris is the founder of ACT, which is the Arts Conservatory for Teens. And I got to tell you, Alex, just like I told Angie when I introduced her, when I came up with the idea to do today's show, you are someone that was on the top of my mind. And here's why.
You're number 2, though.
Thank you, Angie. But what your organization does for teens and getting them involved in the arts, that's something that speaks very highly to me, because the theater literally saved my life. So for those of you, for the listeners that are not aware of ACT, the Arts Conservatory for Teens, tell us what it is your organization does.
Well, the short of it is we use the art platform to graduate kids from high school and get them in a higher educational institution, be it college, university, trade school, or specialty training for careers, preparing our students for careers, and the other components. And we do that in various ways with our thematic or theatrical production. What I wanted to do, my team and I, when we developed our productions, we wanted to provide an educational experience beyond just entertainment, but into a world, if you will, an experience that the students can kind of go back and be able to relate some of our rich American history through arts cultural experience. And in doing so, helping to develop various life skills, which is very critical for our youth of our community today.
Absolutely, absolutely. And those life skills, I mean, okay, so some of the research I did, I learned that students who participate in the arts, and Alex, I actually got this right from your website, act1midtown.org. Students who participate in the arts are 4 times more likely to be recognized for academic achievement.
Wow.
They are
That is correct.
4 times more likely to participate in a math or science fair.
Yep.
And 3 times more likely to be elected to class office within their schools. And we all know, anybody who has graduated high school knows that, you know, being able to hold an office, that looks really good on a college application.
Absolutely.
It's these little things that make such a difference in terms of the success trajectory of our youth.
And art shaping your
Exactly.
life?
Absolutely. I'm all for it. So, Alex, where did this idea originate?
This idea originated basically when I was living in Boston, Massachusetts, when I was up there at Boston University and at Harvard University. And I launched a mentoring program where I wanted to mentor a lot of our teens. At the time, it was primarily the young males, minority primarily.
Okay.
And working with some of the social services. And from that, one of my mentors, Dr. Crane, and I, she helped me with this idea. I had a vision to really use the arts at its fullest potential to ensure that our youth of our communities reach their fullest potential. So I developed this idea that I guess stemmed from my experience as a musician coming up and artist.
And I'll tell you, let me talk about Alex and his musicianship, okay?
Oh, yeah?
So I attended.
What kind of musician are you?
No. Alex is an entertainer. Let me tell you something. So a couple weeks
I love a
ago,
good entertainer.
I went to a local event put on by one of our, hometown celebrities, Donna Crowley, and it was Cars and Couture.
Love that event.
Love
Great
that event.
The cars are
Absolutely.
amazing, and the couture. Who doesn't like a little fashion?
Exactly. So I go to this event, and I knew Alex was going to be there performing, but that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go this year is because I wanted to see, what happens when Mr. Alex Harris gets on stage. Let me tell you something. Mr. Alex Harris tore stuff up.
Were you dropping a beat? Or what?
No. He was Alex. Seriously, the passion, the energy. I mean, just the sweat, blood, and tears. I mean, you leave it all
band,
on
too.
the stage, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you.
My favorite part was when he called me out of the crowd and brought me on stage with him. But that's just because I'm vain. But I will say,
I'm not shocked whatsoever.
there's no shame in my game.
Moves,
Ain't
those
no-
nice moves.
Ain't no shame in my game. He did the right thing. Thank you, Alex. But honestly, your performance was awesome, and I applaud you. But, earlier I had said that the theater saved my life. When I was in the 3rd grade, my 3rd grade teacher sat my parents down, and they were like, we don't know what to do with Dana. She's all over the place. She won't stop talking. She had too much energy. She's bouncing off the walls. We don't know what to do with her.
that.
We need to put her on ADD medication. And
I could see that. I
Right,
could see
right.
that.
You could see it. But I think my ADD is a gift. And so did my mom. My mom was like, you know what? I'm not putting my daughter on medication. As educators, you guys need to be coming up with ways to challenge her more and channel that energy into something productive. So their response to my mother was to let's just put her on stage and see what happens. And the rest is history, because I've spent my entire life in the theater and now in broadcasting. So you know what? I applaud organizations like yours, Alex, because
Thank you so much.
the discipline and what you learn from being involved with the arts and the skills that you develop transcend in your life no matter
Yes, it
what
does.
you choose to do in life. So I love it.
Right.
And speaking of which,
Yeah,
what kinds of programs are offered to teens?
Sure. We offer, of course, theater training. with our professional theater coaches, I should say. We have an opportunity to work with Erica Sutherland, who's an amazing theater coach. Also, Bob Devin Jones offers some of the master classes also at Studio 620. Also, this year we're going to have an opportunity to be working with Todd from American Stage. So we really use our platform to not only prepare kids within our workshops, but connect them with other professionals in theaters, etc. In addition, we offer vocal coaching, which I have a chance to work with some of the students one-on-one, and some other professionals that come in, producers. We bring in producers from New York and other places of the country for special projects. We also we have a strong focus on the art of healthy living, which is then through our empowerment workshops that we do during the spring semester. It's just an amazing. For the other workshops, we offer multimedia and technology with our partner, Center Team for Technology, which is at TASCO and the city of St. Petersburg. We also offer.
Alex, let me stop you there because you mentioned St. Pete. And again, I was on your website, so I'm curious to know, what is Motown in Midtown? Can you explain that, please? Because I think that's awesome and people need to know about it.
Yeah, Motown in Midtown is our production that's coming up during Black History Month, February the 6th through the 8th and of 2014. And basically the idea is to allow our students to have an educational experience of American history. Motown was birthed during the Civil Rights Movement, and not only that, but Berry Gordy and his business partner, Smokey Robinson, developed something as entrepreneurs, which is an educational experience for our students as well. Know that you can have a dream and you can realize that dream. And in their realizing their dream, they created a platform for a plethora of young folks who were their ages, that our age population that we're working with. The Temptations, they were teenagers in early 20s when they signed to the Motown. So they're able to connect to history. So when they in their classrooms, when they hear about the Civil Rights Movement, or they hear their parents or see the movies that are out there talk about it, they're able to relate because we are bringing it home, something that they can feel, they can touch, they can experience and be a part of. So in a way,
I love it.
So it's a fiction story that's based on a true on the biographies of Berry Gordy and Smokey Robinson. So that's Motown. The first act is all the acting and telling the story. And then the second part of the show is, get up and dance to the Motown music.
And that's the part I like, the get up and dance.
Oh, yeah.
So, Alex, listen, when you and I met, I told you, whatever you needed from me in order to be a part of Midtown.
Don't ask her to dance. Don't ask her to dance.
What do you mean? I can dance. I'm not Elaine from Seinfeld. I can bust a move.
I know you can do something. You're busting something.
Anyway, Alex, whatever you need from Motown and Midtown, count on me. Just call me. I'm there. I'm in it. I love ACT, the Arts Conservatory for Teens.
It's a cool organization.
It really is. It's close to my heart. And for more information on ACT, visit their website at ACT, A-C-T, the number 1, midtown.org. Thank you so much, Alex Harris, for coming on and talking about the organization. I really appreciate it. I applaud the work you're doing. We're going to take a break. Thank you. You're welcome. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, we've got yet another charity that's close to my heart. This is Happy Hour. We'll be right back. Everybody loves a good happy hour conversation, especially when they get a little strange. So I'm looking for the most bizarre or scintillating happy hour conversation you've ever had or overheard. Submit your story and you could win lunch for 2 at the Center Club. Then listen to Happy Hour with Dana Pepper every Thursday afternoon at 5 to hear the winning story. Go to facebook.com/happy hour with Dana Pepper to share your story. And don't forget to like the fan page. Cheers. Got a message or new product you'd like to get out to NASCAR fans? Well, here's your chance. Baldwin Racing is currently seeking marketing partners for the NASCAR Whelen Southern Modified Tour. This 2-day event during Budweiser Speed Weeks at Daytona International Speedway will have live television coverage of the race and enthusiastic fans tuning in nationwide. For more information, call Baldwin Racing at 813-841-7251 or visit DaltonBaldwin.com. Everybody knows somebody that could use a little therapy. Maybe that person is you. On the next Happy Hour with Dana Pepper, I'm sitting down with a preeminent psychotherapist and asking some crazy questions and getting some much needed advice on staying happy, healthy, and sexy. In the meantime, let us all be thankful for therapists and the sanity they maintain in our world. Happy Hour with Dana Pepper every Thursday afternoon at 5 on the Tan Talk Radio Network. Oh, now I recognize the music I come back to. Thank you, Bill.
Billy Boo Boo.
All right, welcome back to Happy Hour. I am your host, Dana Pepper, and I am joined by my very good friend, Miss Angie Bernard.
Thank you very much.
Who sits on the board of directors of Synapse House. And we've been talking about charities, some local unsung heroes, organizations that you don't normally hear about in the news because they're not, big enough to be doing the big galas and things of that nature, but they're doing some amazing work for people in our own backyard, in our communities. Mm-hmm. So my next guest is Miss Jane Morse, and she is the founder of Women with Purpose. Jane, are you on the line?
I am indeed.
Hi,
you.
Jane. Welcome to
Jane.
Happy Hour.
Hi. Thank you for asking us.
Absolutely.
To participate.
Well,
Love it.
Jane, when you and I met months ago, you told me about Women with Purpose. And if you'll remember us sitting at that Panera, I was immediately touched by what your organization does. And I've been looking forward to the opportunity to share your message with the public. So please tell us all, what is Women with Purpose?
Well, Women with Purpose, we are a group of women, and of course the men in our lives are also men with purpose because they've been very supportive of us as well. But what we are doing, we're raising money to help cancer patients that are going through therapy, either chemotherapy or radiation, and we're helping them with non-medical financial assistance. We have also helped...
Okay, wait, Jane, let me stop you. So give me an example of what would be a non-medical financial assist.
Okay, I have one lady who has a master's degree and just started teaching in that of early childhood education. And one of her nurses called me and said, she's really in some dire financial straits. So I went to meet her, interviewed her, found out how I could help her, and we've helped her with her car payment.
Oh, that's actually really amazing because you don't even think about it when you're getting chemo and things of that nature. You can't go to work.
Exactly.
Your PTO could be out. How are you going to pay these things?
We've given her gas cards. Not just her, but some of the other patients we have.
Right.
Too. I have another young woman who had a brain tumor, and we have helped her as well with because she has 2 young daughters, and have been able to help her. They kind of came down here from up north and ended up having some real not legal issues, but issues with, trying to make ends meet, and, were brought down here with promises of a job and everything, and it all fell through.
Right.
It's awful, though. You're moving across the country with your family, and then what happens?
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
But thank goodness there are organizations like Women with Purpose that are there to assist. So, Jane, when we spoke, I remember asking you this question, and I want to ask it now on the air because I think it's really important to note the difference. So how does Women with Purpose differ from other organizations like it?
Well, number one, I don't think there's another organization like that.
Even better.
Because
they need
none
more.
of us, well, there are and there aren't. No
There
one-
are organizations like Susan B. Komen, and I interviewed My Hope Chest last month for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So there are organizations that are there to assist people and women with breast cancer issues or medical issues. But your organization is unique.
Well, what we're trying to do is it's not just a one-time grant. Mm-hmm. A lot of people just give, $750, maybe $1,000. We are going to try to help that person for as long as they need it. Granted, right now, we don't have a great deal of funds, but whatever we have, we end up giving out. Nobody makes a salary, Women with Purpose. It's all out of the generosity of my ladies, whenever we have events, out of my pocket, whoever really gets touched by this issue, because a lot of people don't realize that, okay, yeah, I have insurance, but insurance, if you end up losing your job,
Right.
and then if you have a family, I could go on and on.
Absolutely.
About the different
And I'm
families.
sure there's tons of people out there right now that can relate because it's happened to them or they know someone it's happened to. But it's hitting close to home now, especially with the advent of the Affordable Care Act. There are lots of people that are losing their insurance. And
Right.
these are people with serious traumatic, and deathly illnesses. And so where do they turn? So again, I applaud the work that you're doing with Women with Purpose. Jane, where can people go to get more information or to participate in your efforts?
Well, we have a Facebook page, Women with Purpose. We also have a website that Stacy, my friend Stacy, who's part of us, is just puts her heart and soul into it. And
Aw.
she takes care of both of those items.
That's amazing, especially with no salaries.
Exactly.
They're just giving their time. That is a really great. If you can do it as long as you can, that's fantastic. Or if you get big enough, you probably won't be able to. But right now, that's really the true heart of giving.
Absolutely. Jane, what is the website and what is the Facebook page?
The Facebook is just Women with Purpose.
Okay, so facebook.com/Women with Purpose.
Right. And also our website is www.womenwithpurpose.org.
Womenwithpurpose.org.
Yes, it's all spelled out.
Excellent. And while I was on either your website or your Facebook page while I was preparing for today's show, and one of your organization's mantras is the reason why I'm doing this show today. And that mantra is give where you live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I said it earlier, there were tons of organizations out there, national big organizations, and they can throw the big galas and they're getting, political money and they're getting tons of recognition on the big name networks and all kinds of stuff. But you know what? There is nothing like giving and participating in your own backyard. Give where you live. And Jane, I cannot thank you enough for being a woman with purpose.
Well,
It's
and
amazing.
I thank you very much for allowing me to kind of voice my opinion about giving where you live, because I think if you don't know where your money's going to, then you just don't care. You don't care enough. And if we can't give to our communities, then it's like take care of your own at home.
Absolutely.
I am a
Community is
huge supporter of
philanthropic
that.
and it's caring. And to your listeners out there, too, I hope that they will continue to enjoy your shows because you have such energy. It's really great. It's really great.
Thank you. You know what? Again, since I was, came out of the womb, I've been told about my energy. It's nice to have a place to channel it. So,
Right.
It's a good spirit.
Well,
it's a good spirit. for
thank you
sure.
so much, Jane. I really appreciate you coming on the show today. Jane Morse with Women with Purpose. Check them out at facebook.com/Women with Purpose or womenwithpurpose.org. We're going to take our last and final break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about some upcoming events this weekend. We're going to talk about some tips to choosing a great charity.
Sure.
And part of that is Given Where You Live. This is Happy Hour. We'll be back. Everybody loves a good happy hour conversation, especially when they get a little strange. So I'm looking for the most bizarre or scintillating happy hour conversation you've ever had or overheard. Submit your story and you could win lunch for two at the Center Club. Then listen to Happy Hour with Dana Pepper every Thursday afternoon at 5 to hear the winning story. Go to facebook.com/happy hour with Dana Pepper to share your story. And don't forget to like the fan page. Cheers. Got a message or new product you'd like to get out to NASCAR fans? Well, here's your chance. Baldwin Racing is currently seeking marketing partners for the NASCAR Whelen Southern Modified Tour. This 2-day event during Budweiser Speed Weeks at Daytona International Speedway will have live television coverage of the race and enthusiastic fans tuning in nationwide. For more information, call Baldwin Racing at 813-841-7251 or visit DaltonBaldwin.com. Everybody knows somebody that could use a little therapy. Maybe that person is you. On the next Happy Hour with Dana Pepper, I'm sitting down with a preeminent psychotherapist and asking some crazy questions and getting some much needed advice on staying happy, healthy, and sexy. In the meantime, let us all be thankful for therapists and the sanity they maintain in our world. Happy Hour with Dana Pepper every Thursday afternoon at 5 on the Tan Talk Radio Network. All right. Welcome back to Happy Hour. I am your host, Dana Pepper, and I'm joined by the lovely Miss Angie Bernard.
Oh, thank you. I would have to agree.
Of course you would. Representing Synapse House. And we've been talking about some local charities. And, you know, our last segment, we were speaking with Jane Morse of Women with Purpose, and one of their mantras is give where you live. And that's really what we're talking about today is, you know, participating in those local organizations that need your support because they are the ones that are directly supporting the people you know, your neighbors, you know, the people that you see at the grocery store. You never know who is receiving the support of these local charities. But it's our community, and if we don't participate in it to make it better, who is?
You know, your community gives you so much.
Absolutely.
They don't ask much back. And for you to do the little things that give back to those individuals, who knows when it's going to happen when you need that help?
Exactly.
Seriously.
Exactly.
It could happen at the blink of an eye. You driving home, driving to the gym.
No, we're not going to go there.
anything.
We're not going to go there. I don't like to invite negativity into my experience. You know me. I'm
a
crazy
realist.
like that. No, that's not realism. That's just inviting bad stuff. I don't want it. All right. So this weekend, this Saturday, in fact, Synapse House is going to be putting on an event at where is it going to be?
It's actually going to be at McDitton's, and the Chive is putting the event on.
The Chive is putting the event on.
Synapse House.
Gotcha.
They are called Chivettes or something along those lines.
The Chivettes. Chive is in something you put on a baked potato? Okay.
But it's actually one of the top 10 most downloaded apps.
What?
Yes.
Okay,
I mean,
now I
they
got to
got a big
go and
following.
download the Chive.
You've got to.
But I don't know if I'm going to be a Chivette. I don't know.
You
I
can
don't
do
know.
whatever you want to be.
I'm going to be.
No
of
one's going to
course.
judge you.
No.
But it is it's a great organization. It's more, when I look at their site, it's more of a social thing. They give to a lot of charities. McDitton's and Yard of Ale, that group, they're the ones that actually chose Synapse House.
Okay, awesome.
So it's going to be Saturday. Doors open at 6.
Bill just asked, what will the Chivettes look like in their uniform?
I think they're going to look very, I don't even know if I can say the right word, very sexy.
No, you can say sexy. I'm a big fan of sexy.
They're going to look the part, that's for sure. It is at McDonald's.
Well, maybe I will be a Chivette. We'll see.
Oh, I have the cutest dress I'm wearing. It's gonna, I should say cute, but
it's
take
sexy.
it as you will.
It's sexy. All right. So,
Take it
yes.
as you will.
So, I will be there. I'm going to be manning the Synapse House table with my girl, Angie.
And we've got a great auction item.
What is it?
We've got a football from the Buccaneers signed by Mike Williams.
Ooh.
I know.
That's
I want to
huge.
take it. I'm like ready to just
No,
take
you
it.
can't take it.
But I mean, that's a great, the raffle tickets, they've got a 50-50 raffle. I mean, you can go there and you get drinks. If you get tickets, the $30 tickets, we're going to be selling tonight at 7 o'clock during karaoke, which I might bust a meat.
You know what? And I know what your favorite karaoke go-to is. It's Salt and Pepper. I already know.
You know, I'm good at it. What can I say? I'm good at it. But if you get these $30
I think you
tickets,
go too far.
it's all you can drink 7 to 9.
Ooh, you know what?
All you can drink?
That's dangerous because with Angie and I both there, 7 to 9, all you can drink, that's going to get ugly because in 2 hours I could do some damage.
Beautiful.
Okay, right.
I mean,
that's
I get
gonna
better.
Get pretty.
Some might call it getting drunk. I call it getting better.
I do, but I shoot pool better drunk. I can throw. Well, no, I can't throw darts drunk or sober.
Is the pool kind of like you're busting a move? Because I don't know if that gets better either.
You know what? Play some music up in here because I can bust a move and do. No, I'm just kidding, Bill. Don't play. No, I'm all right. All
You're
right,
busting something. That is, again, for sure. Something's getting busted.
So this Saturday, that's going to be the Chive event. It's going to be at McDinton's. The
South Howard McDinton's.
The South Howard McDinton's, not the downtown St. Pete McDinton's. Although we do love that one because Mr. McDinton works there.
I love
Mr. McDinton.
He's so amazing.
Anyway, but it's going to be the McDintons on South Howard in South Tampa. It's going to be a fun event. I'll be there. Angie will be there representing Synapse House.
Expecting 1,500 people.
That's a lot of people.
They're blocking the parking lot off and everything. I mean, it's going to be a big deal.
Awesome. So find some parking and then get to walking. Well,
they'll have ballets. They're going to have ballets.
They are.
They are.
Even
so you don't have to
better.
worry about that.
How much is the valet? Do you know?
I don't know. I would say like $5.
$5, $10.
Yeah, something
but you know what?
easy.
It's going to be worth it because if you have a ticket, you're going to be getting free drinks anyway.
Right. And just make sure you drive safe.
Drive safe.
Don't even drive home. Get
Call
a
friend.
taxi.
Get a taxi. Call
your parents if they're here.
Call your parents. How young is the crowd you're expecting?
Well, if they're 21, maybe they live at home in college.
Dude,
you know?
if I called my mom, like, can you come get me in South Tampa? I think she might hang up on me because I'm too old for such.
My mom would be very upset. She lives in Illinois.
That would be a long
she'd be
drive.
like,
You'd be waiting a long. You might
so.
be sober by the time she
I'd be
gets
able
here.
to walk home. Are you kidding?
All right. So to finish up this last segment, I want to talk about some tips to choosing the right charity because, you know, we're talking a lot about, you know, the fact that you should be choosing a charity that's in your own backyard that's benefiting people in your community directly. But how do you know which one? So the suggestions that I have found and that I feel are think about what matters most to you. I mean, are you, big into the environment, big into education, hunger, animal welfare? I mean, I know a lot of, really a devout pet parents, helping sick children, economic development, whatever the case may be. Make sure that the mission aligns with your vision, because then it's not going to be difficult for you to donate your time or energy, because it's going to be something close to heart and something you believe in.
Yeah. Or even if you even want to make it even easier, if you have a friend
that's involved.
Yeah,
support your friend.
Yeah, that's what I do to my friends. I tell them if they don't get involved, there's going to be consequences.
Angie threatens us. We have to show up.
And guess what? They're giving back and they feel good at the end of the day.
Yes.
So you're actually welcome, Dana.
Thank you, Angie, for making me a better person.
Yeah, I do what I can.
All right. And secondly, next, verify that the charity is legitimate. And this might sound trite, but make sure that the nonprofit, make sure that you look it up on a site like GuideStar.com, and make sure that it's a legitimate tax-exempt organization and that it's in actual good standing. Because if it's not in good standing with the IRS, the money isn't going to that charity or to the people that they say they're going to help. It has some untoward, recipients. And speaking of untoward recipients, I don't know if you knew this, Angie, but I just recently found out. I saw this post on Facebook, so I don't know how credible it is, but I also read it on the Huffington Post. So I'm a little bit more.
Okay, there's a little bit supporting factors there.
Exactly. Now, the article listed some of the top and most well-known and recognized charities, and the fact that their CEOs or their top-ranking executives are making ridiculous amounts of money.
It's true.
Meanwhile, only a small percentage of what's donated actually goes to those in need.
It's very true.
I was disgusted.
And it is public knowledge. When you are a nonprofit, you have to file everything and show all your financials. And the bigger national organizations, they do good, but so much of your money goes to pay these individuals.
I mean, some of these salaries were in excess of $1 million a year. Meanwhile, less than 10% of the donations were actually going to the needy.
Absolutely. And these people are driving the new, Mach 5s. I mean, they
Ridiculous.
got like Range Rovers. They're not living like they're working for a nonprofit.
Right.
Which I understand if you're dedicating all your time, you do need to get a salary. You should get a salary that
Absolutely.
makes it matches up with your living expenses.
Right.
I get it. But excess of $1 million.
Let me tell you something.
Where do you need to make over $1 million a year to live? Like,
Meanwhile, the recipients are getting less than 10% of what's
Exactly.
donated. Prime example. And, I debated whether or not I was going to name names, but you know what? Screw it. I'm naming names. Goodwill. And let me tell you why I'm naming Goodwill. Because I have donated a car to Goodwill. I've donated furniture and clothes. I just found out that Goodwill accepts all these millions of dollars worth of goods and donations, and it's paying its top executives more than $500,000 a year in compensation. Meanwhile, the employees, because they employ a lot of people with
They do employ a
disabilities,
lot of people.
right? They're making. Some of them are making just 22 cents an hour, sub minimum wage. 22 cents an hour.
and this is all public knowledge.
Yes.
This isn't like you have to dig the dirt.
No, but it takes awareness, and it takes someone to say, "Hey, take a look
This
at
isn't
this.
right."
Do your homework." That's my entire point, because the CEO of Goodwill in South Florida is making over $300,000. The Goodwill the CEO of Goodwill in Central Florida is making almost $400,000, but they're paying their employees less sub minimum wage. Folks, that's a problem. Do your homework. Make sure that the people that you are giving your time, energy, and money to are legit and that they're receiving it. So
Yeah.
I'm going to get off my soapbox because I think we're pretty much out
Before
of
she
time.
busts a move on top of it.
Right, exactly. No, but I want to close out on a happy note. But that is going to do it for this edition of Happy Hour. I want to actually thank all of my guests for joining me today and for allowing me to show my appreciation for all of the work that you guys do for so many. Again, not all of us can give tons of money. The organization may not be able to throw big, lavish galas and award and name, men and women of the year and all of this other stuff. But we should not negate or overlook the true work and labor that you guys are doing in our community and for the people in our community. And I thank you. I applaud you, and I wish you continued success, all of you, and all of your endeavors. And thank you all for tuning in today, because this was a show that is specifically, close to my heart. So I appreciate everyone that took the time to tune in today. If you liked today's show and you happen to have missed other ones, then you can check out a podcast or a YouTube video. You can find them both at facebook.com/happy hour with Dana Pepper. And don't forget to like the fan page. I'm trying to build my fan base. The station recently got ratings, and I have all these numbers of people listening, and I have people tuning in online and watching the live stream because we do this in HD video as well. And I'm
And
wondering.
you're going to see my Goonies shirt.
Oh, yes, we
You
can
can see
see
the Goonies
Angie's
shirt.
Goonies shirt. So I'm wondering why I don't have bigger numbers on Facebook. So I'm trying, I need something tangible because that'll satisfy my OCD talking about traumatic brain injury. I've got all kinds of issues that I'm self-diagnosed with. So yes, facebook.com/happy hour with Dana Pepper. And a special thanks to my sponsors, of course, the Center Club, Baldwin Racing, and A.L. Saland Insurance. You can check all of them out on my website, danapepper.com. Angie, do you have anything else to say before I close out with my toast?
Only if you don't have a reason yet, you can help support Synapse House. We're looking for volunteers and donations like crazy. So.
Awesome. And how do they find out more information?
Synapsehouse.org.
Synapsehouse.org. I love it. Well, thank you for joining me
Thank
today,
you, Dana,
sweetheart.
for having me.
All right. So today's toast. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. May water and wine always fill your cup, and may gratitude and joy always fill your heart.
I hope wine more.
I'm Dana Pepper. Cheers.